What's up guys, this is Retro Collector 101 back here with another video, and in this video I'll be unboxing this Retro Fighters controller that I got from Retro Fighters themselves. So they actually sent me this controller for free to review. I actually reached out to them and they were so kind, especially Robert Lomelli there, who I think is the founder and the owner of the company. And that guy was just great to talk to. It went very smoothly, so they were able to send this controller my way to review. So even though they sent it to me for free, I will be giving my honest opinion on this product. So without further ado, why don't we jump straight into the video. So if you didn't know, I got the blue Brawler 64 controller, and I'm personally very curious about how it performs, especially since I know the N64 does have a lot of third-party controllers, a few of which I have tried out, but not many of them were actually great controllers. A lot of them just felt weird in the hands, and the performance it had in games, especially like GoldenEye on the N64, was a bit disappointing. So I'm really curious about how this controller performs. So I actually haven't done an unboxing video in a while. So I do have a screwdriver here that I will be using just to cut through. Here it goes. Is there any more tape? Doesn't seem like there is. So it just opens like that. And here it is. Wow, it looks amazing. You can just see it right there. It looks great. So thankful that they were able to send this controller my way. I'm a very small YouTuber, so they could have easily said no. But they didn't, so I'm just so thankful I had this opportunity. So here it is. It looks amazing. I love the clear blue already. Let me just open this so then we can take a deeper look. It just looks great. So here it is. Let me just slide it out. So the first thing you will find in this box is this plastic packaging to hold the controller in place. That can just smoothly come right out, and you'll want to open it from the top of the box. And there is this little manual here that we'll take a look at first. It says Retro Fighters Quick Start Instruction Manual. So this should tell you how you use the controller well. About us. Right here, it's about us. There's customer service. There is a lot of information here actually. The setup, I really like the artwork here. You can probably take a look. It looks amazing, so funny. It's like video game characters, like the games they make actually. I've taken a look at what they sell on their site. Very impressed. Wow. And here's the controller, the thing we've all been waiting for. Here it is. Just gonna take it out of the packaging. They did tuck the wires under, which is great. This is the wired controller. And I actually like wired controllers because it gives me some retro vibes, especially while playing older game consoles. Especially when I'm playing like the PS4, I do like to capture all of the graphics, so instead of playing it on my monitor like the older consoles, to try to condense the pixels, I play it on a bigger screen, just so that I can be wowed by the amazing graphics. So here is the controller. There are two triggers. Of course, the Z is basically the same, just in reference to the N64 controller. There's only one Z, and then there is an L and R. Very interesting. I'll actually bring it so that I can compare. So here is an actual N64 controller. This one's made by Nintendo themselves, not third party. As you can tell, it does have the one Z trigger right there, and then the L and R up there, and then it does have this slot for extra features that the Nintendo 64 has to enhance gameplay. So yeah, it's really neat. I like how the Brawler one also has that slot, extra bonus. Very nice. Now, if we can compare, these buttons, the colors are basically identical, as you can see, but the buttons, when you click them, they definitely feel different. These ones on the N64, I'd say feel a bit mushy, if that makes sense. Not the green and blue ones, but the yellow ones, they don't feel as clicky as the ones on the Brawler 64. I'm actually more of a fan of the ones on the Brawler 64. I don't know what it is about them. They just feel like they're more responsive. Now, comparing the blue and green buttons, it's interesting because on this one, I feel like the Brawler 64 ones are a bit deeper. So when I click it, I actually feel the button. And when I click the button, so for example, if I click A, it's flush to the plastic. And I really like that. I really do. On the N64 though, it's not like that, which is okay, but it's a bit unfortunate. Now, another difference is if you look at the buttons, it seems like these ones are more of this this more rugged type of feel, not really, it seems like it was just smoothed with sandpaper, while this one looks a bit more polished. I don't know what to say about that. It's really personal preference. Like, the polished ones do look a bit better if I were to be truthful. And I'm not biased at all with the 64, the Brawler 64. But at the same time, even though it looks nice, your thumb is a bit slippery. It feels a bit slippery on that one, while on the Brawler 64, it doesn't seem like you're gonna lose your grip. I am personally a fan though of the N64 A and B buttons, but when it comes to clickiness, I am more of a fan of the Brawler 64 buttons. Now the select is basically the same as the other two, and just like the N64, it has this really, it has this concave type of look surrounding the button. So I really like how the Retro Fighters really paid attention to the detail. Now, this one does have clear and turbo buttons. I'm not 100% sure what they do, but the N64 does not have those buttons. Now, comparing the D-pad, it's very interesting. Of course, the D-pad is only working on your right hand, similar to the N64, but the joystick is in the middle of the N64 controller, and since this one is not 3-pronged but 2-pronged, it's more to the left. So I do like it. The D-pad, I'd say it's a bit better on the Brawler 64 by Retro Fighters. The reason why I would say it's better is because it has this concave type of feel to the D-pad in the center. You can probably see it right here. And that means that your thumb would be well set right there. While on the N64, I feel like Nintendo was a bit lacking on that front. They didn't really do anything special with the D-pad, not like on the Sega consoles, where I actually love their D-pads. For Nintendo, I'm pretty sure they just enlarged the Game Boy D-pad, so there wasn't really much special about it, which is why I definitely like it a bit more on the Retro Fighters controller. The joystick is definitely better on the Retro Fighters controller. It's, oh my gosh, 1,000 times better. It's so soft, it's so smooth. It really reminds me of the PS1 type of joystick, but at the same time it's a bit refined, it's a bit improved since it is a newer controller. Just it feels so much better in the finger. As you can tell, it's soft. It's a bit of softer rubber type of feel, while on the N64, it's this really painful piece of plastic that's really annoying. The other amazing thing I love about the Brawler 64 controller is that it seems like it doesn't have any dead zone. Well, not much. Like, if you didn't know, I mean by dead zone, I'm maybe getting the name of this wrong, but there's this dead zone where, like, as you can probably tell, I am moving the N64 joystick, but that won't be changing anything about the gameplay. Like, if I were to move my joystick like this, my character would not move at all. The reason why is because there's a lot of wear and tear to this controller, which is very, very unfortunate. And I'm very glad to say that the Retro Fighters company fixed that. They fixed that with this. None of that dead zone, which is amazing. So impressed. Lastly are the triggers. So in comparison to Nintendo, I gotta say the LNR are a lot better on the Retro Fighters controller. The reason why is because on the N64, if you click it, it only goes down on the very, very left half of it, or the very, very right half of it. So if you clicked here, it wouldn't be doing anything. Nothing. On the Retro Fighters controller though, you could get it working if you clicked right here, which is what I like. Because people have different sized hands. Luckily for me, my hands aren't really that big. So I'll naturally click here, which I think is a sweet spot for the controller. Now, the last thing I love is that it has this clear type of look, which is very similar to the Fantastic series on the N64. I just think that's an amazing touch. It looks very, very nice. So that's pretty much it. The Z triggers, of course, are definitely... Actually, no. I have to say, I do like the Z triggers a bit more on the N64 because it feels similar to clicking an A and B button, just with a trigger finger. This one is a bit mushy and a bit resistant. I do like it a bit more on the N64 actually, but the type of Z triggers that are on the Brawler 64 are similar to ones on the PS4, I'd say. Maybe the PS5, I've never tried the controller, but very similar to the PS4 type of feel, and even Xbox One type of feel, and PS3 type of feel. Like if I bring a PS3 controller out that I have to the side, yeah, it feels very similar. Similar idea, I'd say. A bit more resistant, but still very similar. So that's pretty much it for the controller. Now, why don't I try to play this game and tell you guys how I feel when I'm playing the game. So the game of my choosing is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. So I'm just going to pop it in, turn the power on, and let's hope for the best. So the game is on. I'm just going to skip all of this stuff. The controller's also plugged in. So I think I'm going to go choose Battle of Hoth. Battle of Hoth is very fun. I've played it multiple times. It's also a good game, I feel, to test out the capabilities of this controller. The reason why is honestly because it requires almost every button. Like, it requires triggers, so that's a good thing. It requires the joystick, the D-pad as well, the buttons, pretty much every button almost. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a shot. So straight off the bat, I'm really liking the feel of the joystick. I think it feels amazing. The buttons feel great. I'm gonna first use the A button to try to destroy something. So let's find something. Okay, right here. Oops, not that great at the game. Haven't played it in a while, honestly. So the funny thing is, since there are two L triggers, when I hit the left one and the right one, it has the same purpose, which is kind of hilarious. So you're supposed to use L and R instead, the upper ones. So it's interesting. Just got something. Yeah, I really like the feel of the A button. I actually think that it feels great. I tried the arrow keys and they don't have much of a purpose in games like this one, but the button does feel nice and clicky, very responsive. I'm actually starting to enjoy the texture of these buttons. I know it's very different from the N64's controller because it's not glazed, but I still think that it feels very nice. The joystick though, oh my gosh, it feels so much better. And the last thing that I feel feels a lot better is this. You don't need to hold the controller like this or like this. No. You just hold it in one easy position we are all used to these days, which is this with the two prongs. I cannot even explain how great it is to be able to hold a controller like this, especially on the N64. It just feels amazing. I'm very used to this feel since my generation, like my first console was the Xbox 360. I'm not that old, so the 360 has the two-pronged feel, right? I'm not the old SNES type of generation. No, I'm the Xbox 360. So this is basically what I'm used to. So I just gotta admit, the joystick, the overall feel of the controller, the build, the plastic quality, it just all feels great. Yeah, like just trying out these triggers up top, it feels a lot better. Definitely a lot more responsive actually. It's interesting because on the N64, sometimes I'd hit it too high, so I wouldn't get the response I'd need. So this is definitely something I like. Why don't I crash into this AT&T and let me just end off this video. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. An amazing controller, I gotta admit. It's night and day difference, night and day. It feels a lot better than the three-pronged experience we had on the N64 controller, and I totally do suggest this controller to you guys. Thank you again, Retro Fighters, for being able to send this controller my way to review on my channel. It has been a great pleasure talking to you guys. You guys have been amazing, very nice people as well to talk to. It's just been great. Everything went smoothly, and honestly, I'm just so pleased to have tried this out. It's an amazing controller, and I totally suggest it to all of you guys. And Retro Fighters, if you are watching this video, if you have anything else for me that you're able to send me to review on this channel, I am more than happy to do so. Your products are just amazing. I just love the quality, the products you have on your website. Just this controller just feels so amazing. I totally do suggest it to all of you guys, especially if you are even just casual N64 players. It's a night and day difference. I'm not even joking. I totally suggest it to you guys. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, then please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, then please hit the subscribe button. It will really help out my channel. I'm sorry for not posting in the last 3 weeks. I was very busy since my family came from abroad. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. See ya.